Oklahoma came to town, and apparently we did the can-can at halftime.
Also, we had some sweet backhands from the tennis team against LSU, and a really athletic dog at halftime of the basketball game.
And the men's basketball team played Kansas.
Chip was fired up. It's CU Sports Mag. Don't go away. Hi, I'm Luke Rosenmeyer. Welcome to CU Sports Mag. Alongside me is Heather Morba, and we've got an action-packed show for you today.
Yes, we do. So let's jump right into it. So, last Saturday, the reigning national champions came to Boulder with a team that had lost many of its star players. So let's go to the highlights to see if that would help the Buffs' chances against the favored Kansas Jayhawks. Last week, the Buffs took on those defending national champions. And it was quite a scrappy game, starting out with this little tip under the net, but luckily Jamil Jackson-Wilson can grab it and put it up. The Buffs will put some more points on the board right here as Corey Higgins dunked it. And the first half was arguably CU's better half as they controlled the ball systematically and even tied it up at one point. Dwight Thorne will pull up the shot. However, the Jayhawks did not back down, actually putting this play together off a steal, and Cole Aldrich puts it in for KU. California Corey Higgins will try for this shot, but misses. And apparently on this next pass, so does Nate Tomlinson. Check this out. So finally, we bring it in and put some more points on the board for CU. But when you give Kansas the ball, basically it goes to the big guy in the middle. What the heck did they feed that kid? The not-so-gentle giant Jayhawk smacks that ball down and brings it to halftime. I'm glad someone was having fun at the game. These ladies are actually retired, classically trained ballet dancers. I'm just kidding. Austin Default hesitates in the paint and he tosses it out to Jackson Wilson, our favorite senior. Well, he's our only senior. But here goes the KU three-point montage, and we have three right in a row. This last one that you're going to see, this is Tyrell Reed from bringing it in from the outside. So since that's over, it's only fair to show a little Buff action. But now back to the Kansas show. Reed makes a nice layup on this play. And then Buffs will get the ball back, bring it down. Higgins makes this three-pointer. And so does Kansas. So after a long scoring run in the second half, they would take the game 73-56. As you can see, Colorado, their stats are just not hitting it where Kansas was. So let's hear what Coach had to say after the game.
We don't finish the play. And finishing the play is an area both on offense where we had some opportunities to make shots or finish around the rim and finish our defense. And, you know, to build this thing right is you just got to take young players and they got to expose them and let them grow from it. And they're good kids and they understand. And as long as they understand why they're not having success from a winning and losing standpoint, and keep their faith and keep their spirit, they'll be fine. And they'll all get to where we all want them to get to someday. The winning and the losing will take care of itself.
Following the loss against Kansas, CU's men's basketball team hit the hardwood in Lubbock, Texas on Tuesday night as they attempted to snap a two-game losing streak against the Red Raiders of Texas Tech. Colorado standout Corey Higgins notched 20 points for the third time in the last 4 games and also grabbed 7 boards. The Buffs kept the game close until 3:28 remained in the second half, when Tech forward Mike Singletary erupted for 12 of his 20 points, pushing the final margin to 63-55. The loss drops Colorado to 8-9 overall, a mark attributable to their inability to win a game on the road yet this season.
And now we're actually going to turn it over to our double team set, where we have some people that are going to break down the men's basketball season even more.
Take it away, guys.
Welcome to Double Team. I'm Ron Knobauer. He's Kai Cummings. We're going to talk about the CU-KU game and see what the Buffs need to do to be successful for the rest of the Big 12 season. But Kai, let's first start out with missed shots by the Buffs.
I know.
Just hurt on the KU game.
We started a little bit because missed shots. I mean, we had so many missed shots this past game against KU. I mean, it seemed like every single time KU made a shot, we missed 3. I mean, we shot 37% from the field. I mean, as you can see here, easy layups like that, they just don't go in, and I don't understand it. Pull-up jumpers, they don't go in either. I mean, they were just all over the place when they played KU, and they just couldn't get a rhythm out there.
And like you said, layups, these are layups.
Yeah.
I mean, 5-year-olds can do layups.
Exactly.
And these guys are getting scholarships and they can't seem to
put the ball
in the basket.
Yeah, definitely. Secondly, another thing that CU had problems with was rebounds. And you know what? Also, KU, like we said earlier, they were just on fire the entire night. In the second half, they came out shooting 71%, but in the game they only shot 52%. But as you can see, even when they miss shots, they get rebounds back. And you know what? When you give a good team like KU a second chance, they're going to execute it.
And if you haven't noticed on this video, all these shots are from beyond the arc.
Exactly.
They're three-pointers. It hurt the Buffs all night long, all the three-pointers. You know how the cheerleaders take the threes and they put them on the wall?
Yep.
They should have done that for KU.
Exactly.
It was stocked.
It was not a good day to be rooting for the home team, especially against KU, especially in the second half.
Now let's get back to these rebounds. We kind of got ahead of ourselves last time. CU got outshot 31-21 to KU. It's not bad since they've been outshot before by 20 and 30 more.
Exactly, but you give them that statistic. That's 10 missed rebounds plus towards the Kansas side, and that's 20 points in the opposite direction. And it really showed, especially when we played KU. I mean, it's just been kind of a theme all season long. We haven't been getting the points up because rebounding. It's been tough. It's been really tough.
However, on the bright side, we are talking about the defending national champions.
Exactly. We're talking about the defending national champions, and we're also talking about an extremely young CU team. We don't have that many big guys out there. To be perfectly honest, we don't have that many. And, it'll come in time. We're a young team. Hopefully, in the future, we're gonna be doing a lot better.
Exactly. And just a little quick step before we go to break. CU has averaging 3 underclassmen per game. We're going to take a quick break right now, but we'll be back real quick to talk about the Big 12 season.
Only you can prevent forest fires. And it's true. We know we can count on you to do what Smoky says. Drown your campfires with water. Make sure it's totally wet. Then stir and drown again. We know we can count on you to do what Smoky says. Only you can prevent forest fires.
Welcome back to Double Team. He's Kai Cummings. I'm Ron Kronbauer. We're going to talk about now what the Buffs need to be successful for the rest of the season. First off, this slow down offense. The Buffs need to accelerate this.
Exactly. We just talked about the Kansas game. As you can see here, when you're a young team, you need ball possession. And especially when we're playing good teams like Kansas, you see how they work the ball, they get a nice interior shot, easy layup every time. You also get fouls when you go in hard. You'll see in this next one that when you drive to the basket, you take some time off the clock. That prevents the other team from scoring and for you to keep in control of the game. That's 2 and a foul. So, slow down offense is going to be key, especially for the rest of the season for the Buffs.
However, you don't always want to do as we were talking before the show, we don't always want to do a slow down offense. You kind of want to speed up and get those fast breaks also. But yes, you've got to accelerate and be good at this slow down offense.
Exactly, and you know what? They're doing a pretty good job of it. I would just say that when you are a young team, you really do need to control the ball, especially when you got really good, highly recruited players. And also, we've had mistakes also. I mean, the Buffs you get rebounds, you can't put the ball back in. It's just been a lot of mistakes also for the Buffs.
And after all these press conferences, Coach Buzdek and the players are saying it's the same mistakes. But they know what they have to do to fix those mistakes. And I think all the players want to get better and fix them and become a Big 12 school that can win.
Exactly. And they have the guys for it. I mean, you have Corey Higgins, Nate Tomlinson. You have guys that are very strong leaders on this team. I mean, maybe even I wouldn't say too strong leaders, but I mean, maybe you have to be a little more selfish out there, especially for Nate Tomlinson.
That's right, Nate Tomlinson. He's averaging 8.3 points, 3.3 assists per game. He could definitely do a lot better.
And we'll see more of that for the rest of the season. And that will do it for Double Team. It was nice for you guys to drop in. Thanks.
Thanks, Kai. We drop in on you guys anytime. But stay tuned after the break.
Yeah, we're going to see if the women's basketball team managed to do any better last week. Oklahoma Sooners were in town last weekend to face off against the CU women's basketball team. We'll see how they fared on the hardwood. Okay. But she dishes it inside to Courtney Paris for 2. She was 9 of 10 from the floor. Kara Richards on the other end, no, sorry, that's Britney Spears, again says move as she hits the floater in the lane. Then Ashley Paris hitting the 15-footer, and the crowd goes wild. Now it's Kara Richards on the other end. She's number 44, just like our new president, Barack Obama. Anyway, right before the half, Danielle Robinson with a nice left. That's when the real show started. Watch this tuba guy spin. It's making me dizzy just watching that. Anyway, even more amazing was this dog. Look at him. Oh, he misses that one, but he catches this one, and then the acceleration. Wow. Anyway, second half, Kara Richards gets the ball down low once again, puts on a nice move, gets the bucket and the foul. However, she would miss the free throw. Next possession, Kara Richards looking for some more, but this time it's good D from Oklahoma. Center gets the rebound and the outlet pass. This leads to a nice hustle play on the other end, and then a tray from Whitney Hand. She had 13 on the day. Then on the other end, we have Alyssa Fresley hitting the J to keep the Buffs in the game. But then Oklahoma managed to get the offensive board and the putback. They're starting to pull away. However, Britney Spears helped the Buffs shoot 55% from downtown for that game. That's an impressive number. Final score, 72-58, Oklahoma. Okay, Colorado was unable to get the win despite the best efforts of Britney Spears, Bianca Smith, and Alyssa Fresley. They shot 41% from the floor, and let's see how they managed to do against Texas earlier.
Yeah, but before that Oklahoma game, the women's basketball team scored the lowest point total in program history as they were annihilated in their loss to Texas on Saturday. The Buffs ended up with only 32 points compared to the mighty 62 put up by the Longhorns. The Buffaloes shot only 28% from the field, but it was the 18 turnovers that really hurt them throughout the game. Alyssa Fresley was the diamond in the rough for the Buffaloes as she scored 12 points in the loss.
There's three sure things in life: death, taxes, and man on the street. Sports Mag's own Matt Hanlon was on campus to get the 411 on CU basketball and more.
We're out here on CU's campus asking students what they enjoy about college basketball games and whether the men or the women will finish with a better record. We want to know what your favorite thing is at a college basketball game.
I'd have to say probably watching the actual game. Being in the crowd is really fun because everyone's going wild.
Just the tuba cheer, you know.
I really like the intensity of the crowd and how much people get into it.
Who do you think is going to have the better overall record at the end of the season, the men or the women?
The women.
The women, for sure.
I'm thinking the women will probably do better because the men seem to still be in transition a little bit.
You know, I think the women have a pretty strong shot at coming out with a better record.
And then we asked them, what CU women's basketball player has the same name as an American pop star? Oops, I did it again.
Oh, I read it in the paper and I...
Let's see, is it
Britney Spears? I have no idea.
Shakira.
It's either Whitney Houston or Britney Spears.
What is that name?
Britney Spears, of course.
Whether it be tubas, hoops, or divas, CU students got all the right answers. For CU Sports Mag, I'm Matt Hanlon.
Taking the Aspen Mountains by storm, the CU ski team took the title in their very own CU Invitational. Junior Matt Gelso conquered the 21K Owl Creek Chase in just 53 minutes. This was his second career win after being sidelined last year due to illness. Senior Maria Grebsgaard won the freestyle and 5K Classic title this weekend. Gelso and Grebsgaard helped bring CU to 11 out of 26 race wins this winter, topping the Rocky Mountain region. Head coach Richard Rokos and the team have 3 weeks to enjoy before returning to competition for the Denver Invitational.
Maybe it's because the climate is similar, or people from Norway are simply athletic, but Maria Grebsgaard continues to impress the collegiate skiing scene. The Scandinavian powerhouse added the 21st and 22nd wins of her career by winning both the freestyle and classical titles in the Colorado Invitational. Grebsgaard finished the 21-kilometer freestyle course in just over an hour, skating minutes ahead of the rest of the competition. That's why the Norwegian Queen of the Mountain is our very own Athlete of the Week.
The number 26 LSU Tigers rolled into Boulder last Saturday to serve it up against Colorado's tennis team. The Buffs were without national number 110 Monica Maluski due to injury, which forced junior Melissa Esposito to slug it out with number 5 Megan Falcon of Louisiana State. CU fell to the Tigers 5-2 despite singles victories from Abby Probert and Michaela Hedlund Jensen. However, Coach Keneally was optimistic about the team's performance and was eager to look ahead to their next match against South Florida. The Buffs' record now stands at 1-1 as they begin a 5-match, 3-state road trip.
The Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs is known for its high-vaulted church and beautiful campus. But the school is also well known for its spacious indoor track, which held the annual Air Force Track and Field All-Comers Meet last Friday. The Buffs ran through and jumped their way to a great start of the season. Sprinter Ryan Campbell and jumper Katie Dreyer led the team with great finishes, but the meet was not scored as open athletes were able to participate. The Buffs will host the Potts Invitational on Friday at 1 p.m. at CU's Balch Fieldhouse.
The Colorado men's ice hockey team is just starting to hit their stride at the right time. The Buffaloes, after a 4-1 victory over the Denver Pioneers the previous night, shut out the number 3 ranked Northern Colorado Bears 4-0 last Saturday. Goalkeeper Kevin Latinsky posted his 6th career shutout as he stopped all 19 of the shots. The Buffaloes put together arguably one of their best games of the season against UNC and received huge games from Sean Carpenter, Kevin Alpert, and Eric Seufert. The Buffaloes plastered UNC goaltender Philip Torreya with 38 shots and stifled the Bears with an all-around defensive effort.
The winter athletic season is in full swing at CU as the Buffaloes charge to success. Speaking of success, that brings us to this week's trivia question. In 2006, which Colorado sports team inducted 9 of its members into the CU Athletic Hall of Fame?
All right, so stay tuned for some news about regime changes in the coaching staff.
And also, you don't want to miss the answer to that trivia question. Sorry.
That's right. 09 campaign, they'll be without longtime head coach P.E. Ayu, who stepped down earlier this month. Ayu, a Buff alum and head coach over 12 years of his 22 years in the volleyball program, informed his team prior to the decision that he would not be back next season. During his tenure, Ayu became the winningest head coach in Colorado volleyball history. This past season, the Buffs finished 13-16 overall, landing them 8th in the conference. Athletic Director Mike Bone will begin the search for a new coach immediately.
The Buffs will have to adjust next season to a new coach. Dan Hawkins confirmed on Sunday that assistant coach Jeff Grimes has accepted a position at Auburn University. Grimes joined the CU football program in February 2007 following 3 seasons at BYU. He also served as offensive line coach and running game coordinator for the Buffs. So far, no recommendations for a replacement have been made, but Grimes says he is confident that Hawkins will do fine in hiring a new assistant coach. Even though he won't be able to pursue a career as a pro football player, former CU quarterback Bernard Jackson has been busy making plans for the next few years. Along with former Buffs teammate Lionel Harris, was sentenced to 5.5 years in jail after pleading guilty to felony charges of second-degree burglary and menacing. The charges date back to last summer when Jackson and Harris were found to be involved in a home invasion-style armed robbery in an apartment on University Avenue. With good behavior, their sentences can be up for reconsideration later this year. In the past, CU football players' actions have not been regulated strictly during the off-season. However, after last year, 13 players were caught breaking the law. This year, Coach Hawkins has created new guidelines. First was to create accountability teams. There are 9 teams made up of 9 players each. If one person breaks the rules, the entire team gets in trouble. Coach Hawkins has also started conflict resolution programs as well as online alcohol education classes. These new rules have been put in place to improve the football team's reputation.
After the 2008 football season, the University of Colorado lost 3 starters on the defensive line, most notably George Hippolyte. To fill this gap, Buffalo coaches hit the recruiting trail. Their efforts have been rewarded. Committing to CU is Edward Knuckles, a 6'2", 300-pound defensive tackle from Mission Hills, California. Also, the Buffs were able to steal a defensive end who had previously committed to reigning national champion Florida. This player lives just down Highway 36 in Broomfield. Nick Casa is one of the best players in Colorado and is the 4th best defensive end in the nation, according to Scouts.com. These recruits will help strengthen the Buffs' defensive line.
Between the men's and women's basketball teams, there are 7 freshmen. That means 7 players that fans don't know much about. So over the next few weeks, Sportsman will be giving you a chance to get to know your teams. This week, Amanda Blackwell talks to Australia's own Nate Tomlinson.
Basketball isn't exactly Australia's most popular sport. So in 2006, Aussie freshman Nate Tomlinson packed his bags and headed to the U.S. in pursuit of a career in hoops.
I was always into basketball, and it was always my dream to come over to the U.S. and play. So I did 2 years of high school up in Boston, up in that area, and then I got recruited here by CU, and I'm loving it here.
Not only has Tomlinson had to adjust to a new country, but also to a new style of play.
The U.S. sort of style of game is a lot one-on-one, a lot fast tempo sort of game. You guys got some pretty special athletes, and we sort of got to stick to the fundamentals and get them sort of down, because we ain't got athletes like you guys. College sports is crazy, the whole state, if not the whole city's into the college and backs you guys. And like you saw the other night, Kansas, they had more fans here than we did. So, but no, it is a lot different, with the college sports. We don't have very big college sports back home.
Well, if it's not the sports, then what is it that Tomlinson most misses about home?
The beach. The beach. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Amanda Blackwell, CU Sports Mag.
Okay, now it's time for the answer to the trivia question. We asked, in 2006, which Colorado sports team inducted 9 of its members into the CU Athletic Hall of Fame? And the answer is the CU ski team. These 9 athletes competed to win the first national championship title in CU history.
Well, speaking of skiing, you better stay tuned, because after the break, Kylie Burse is going to be around with a weather report to tell you which mountains to go shred this weekend.
That's right, don't go away. So what's black and gold and seen all over? CU students every Friday for Spirit Days. The CU Staff Council, Student Government, and the Division of Student Affairs have come together in order to bring us this new tradition. So whether it's a sweatshirt or socks, help bring in the weekend in your finest buffalo attire.
Have you been feeling a little pasty white this winter? Well, embrace your complete lack of a tan by coming to the men's basketball whiteout on Saturday. The team will take on the Kansas State Wildcats at 4 o'clock in the Coors Event Center. Wear white to come and support your Buffs and leave all your black and gold at home.
All right, so now what you've been waiting for, the ski report. So we'll send it over to Kylie for the weather.
Thanks, guys. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the weather coming up this weekend. As you all know, we've had a pretty crazy week with highs hitting the 70s, but unfortunately that nice summer weather isn't here to stay. After all, it is January. So taking a look at the national map, you can see here we have a cold front that came down from the northwest all the way down into Colorado, and I'm sorry, but it's here to stay for at least a few days. If you want to take a look at the temperatures, you can see that the rest of the country is starting to warm up, hitting those reds and yellows, but we are staying right here in our blues and greens. But that's okay. For those of you staying in Boulder this weekend, you can go ahead and take a look. Friday is looking pretty good. We have some snowfall, which, it's January, to be expected. Saturday and Sunday looking great, almost hitting 50 degrees, but dipping into those lower temperatures again at night. Taking a look at some of the most popular ski resorts in Colorado, Breckenridge is a popular one for students. They are completely open, have a great base of 55 inches in some areas, and they do have snow in the forecast for this weekend. Taking a look also at Copper. Copper is going to be our coldest this weekend with lows and highs around the 20s. So if you're looking to get out there and have a nice warm weekend, I would not go to Copper. They also have a lot of snow coming down too. So taking a look a little bit further, Keystone, another favorite, 135 out of 135 open, and they also just added 18 new trails, almost 1,000 new acres. If you want to take a look at their brand new trail map, they actually opened this North Peak up in this region, so that's kind of cool. Head out there, check out the new mountain, but be safe. It's for expert levels only. Don't let your new friends get out there. So taking a look one more time at Vail, as you can see here, they are completely open, have a great base. They do have snow in their forecast, and they are going to have 40-mile-an-hour winds on Saturday. So if you're not into the wind, I wouldn't go there on Saturday. Maybe head over on Sunday when they have much lower wind. If you're planning on staying closer to home, take a look at Eldora, once again a great base, and they have the highest temperatures for this weekend. They are hitting almost 40 degrees every single day. They do have some snow, but not a whole lot of wind. So make sure you get out there this weekend, have a lot of fun, stay safe.
Thanks a lot, Kylie. Looks like it's going to be a great weekend for skiing.
Definitely. I know I'm hitting the slopes.
For sure. Anyway, that's all we have for today. Thanks for watching, and come back next week.